We're pretty excited about our new syrup raspberry, which is clearly a classic syrup in the cocktail canon. And this one, like the rest of our whole line of Alley 26 syrups, is pretty straightforward on the back. It's raspberries, sugar, and water. So a lot of really good raspberry flavor coming through because we made it out of raspberries. So clearly the first cocktail to make with a raspberry syrup should be the Clover Club. There's a number of classics that use raspberry syrup, but the Clover Club is probably the most famous, so we're going to start with that. The Clover Club was the name of a club in Philadelphia a long, long time ago, and this was the signature drink of the house. And it is going to be a ½ ounce of raspberry syrup and a ½ ounce, and this is critical, of dry vermouth. This is our house blend of dry vermouth, but there are a number of really delicious brands of dry vermouth on the market. Dolin makes a really nice one. ½ ounce of that as well. And then some fresh squeezed lemon juice. ½ ounce of that. And last but certainly not least, gin. We're going to use the Conniption American Dry from our friends at the Durham Distillery. I like this one. It's a little softer than a London Dry style, and it just really lets the raspberry and the vermouth shine through. Okay, so classically, or before I get ahead of myself, this is an egg white drink, which is why the egg is down here. Classically, you would do what you call a dry shake, which is when you put the egg white in the mixing glass and shake it without the ice. It's called a dry shake. It's a curious name for something you do with all wet ingredients, but hey, I didn't make it up. I like to do what we call a reverse shake, which is I will shake the wet ingredients minus the egg white first in the drink, and then add the egg white, because I like to think of the egg white in an egg white cocktail as kind of meringue. You're not really putting the egg white in there for flavor, so in case you don't want it to taste very eggy, make sure you have nice fresh eggs. But also I want to put the egg white in there when the liquid is still really, really cold. I don't want to put it in warm and then chill it later. So that's our way of doing it. So we will first give this a nice, good shake. You're really just shaking nice and cold and nice and long, and then get that at this point. Strain that here. This is all the dilution we're going to get, so you go ahead and give it a nice, good, long shake, like I did. That pretty pale pink color is already there. Now I'm going to throw my ice away. And the egg white. There you go. Go wash my hands. Okay, so we got our egg white in here, and we're about to add them. Now you might, if you haven't been making drinks for a while, you might be like, egg white, that's not cooked. I don't look like Rocky Balboa, I'm not drinking raw eggs. I get it. However, we're gonna put this in here with citric acid. And between the citric acid and the booze, it's gonna be fine. If you're afraid of it, then don't do it. I would just say that I've never had an issue with it, and I've been doing it for quite a number of years. So we can either just combine these two and shake for a goodly long time, or we can cheat. We can take a Hawthorne strainer like this and peel the coil off and kind of use that as kind of a whisk in here. And give it a nice shake. It's kind of odd when people see you shaking and they don't hear the ice sometimes. They're like, what's going on? Has he lost his mind? Now, when you're shaking an egg white drink, you're not really, it's not a set number of times. It's not really a set duration. You're shaking for viscosity, and you can feel it in there. You can feel it when it starts to get fluffy. and that's what we're looking for. Maybe a couple more. There we go. Strain right here. I like to save the fine mesh for the end just in case for some reason I got a little eggshell in there. Kind of a better safe than sorry idea. It's perfect like that. If you really feel like garnishing it, go ahead, but it doesn't really call for one, so the Clover Club.